Ladies and gentlemen, dreamers and doers, visionaries and warriors of ambition, pause for a moment and consider this. What force drives you? What unseen energy propels you forward when the obstacles are high, the rewards uncertain, and the path unmarked? What is it that stirs the soul, ignites the mind, and fuels the relentless pursuit of something greater than mere survival? For generations, we have been told a simple story about motivation, that the carrot and the stick, rewards and punishments, govern human behavior. Work harder, get the prize. Fall short, suffer the consequence. This model has been the bedrock of schools, corporations, and economies. And yet, look around. Does this system truly unleash the boundless potential within us? Does it inspire ingenuity, spark innovation, or create lives rich with purpose and passion? No, my friends, we were meant for something more. Enter Drive, the surprising truth about what motivates us, a revelation by Daniel H. Pink that shatters the outdated myths of motivation and unveils the deeper, more powerful forces that move us, not just to work, but to create, to excel, to transcend. Pink takes us beyond the primitive notions of rewards and punishments and introduces us to the true engine of human achievement: autonomy, mastery, and purpose. These are the forces that propel the greatest minds, the boldest leaders, and the most fulfilled individuals. These are the forces that drive you. Autonomy, the desire to steer our own ship, to be the architects of our own destiny. Mastery, the urge to improve, to refine, to become better today than we were yesterday. Purpose, the longing to contribute to something bigger than ourselves, to infuse our lives with meaning beyond material gain. This book is not just an exploration of motivation. It is a call to revolutionize the way we work, lead, and live. It is an invitation to reject the outdated, uninspired systems of the past and to step into a future where you control the throttle of your own ambition. So, I ask you, as you prepare to dive into the pages of Drive, what fuels you? What will you create when you finally understand what truly moves you? And what heights will you reach when you tap into the real power that lies within? Part 1. The Puzzle of Motivation. Introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, dreamers and doers, leaders and learners. Today, we stand at a crossroads. For centuries, we have been told that the secret to motivation, the fuel that powers our work, our creativity, our very lives, is simple: reward the behavior you want, punish the behavior you don't. Carrots and sticks. Incentives and consequences. Paychecks and promotions. This is what we've been taught. This is what we've built our schools, our businesses, and even our personal ambitions upon. And yet something is wrong. Something doesn't add up. Why do so many people feel unfulfilled at work, despite earning good salaries? Why do creative individuals lose their spark when money enters the equation? Why do people who should be motivated, who have all the right external rewards, still feel uninspired, drained, disconnected? My friends, Daniel Pink has cracked the code. In Drive, the surprising truth about what motivates us, he rips apart the outdated theories that have ruled our world for too long. He shows us the hidden forces that truly drive human behavior. And he hands us the key to unlocking our deepest levels of passion, purpose, and potential. Are you ready to break free from the old model and embrace a future of true motivation? Then let us begin. Chapter 1. The Rise and Fall of Motivation 2.0. The world has changed, but our ideas about motivation have not. For centuries, humans operated on what Pink calls Motivation 1.0, our basic survival instincts. Food, shelter, reproduction. That was all we needed to keep moving. Then came the modern economy, factories, businesses, systems that needed structure. And with it, a new theory of motivation, Motivation 2.0, the carrot and stick approach. This system assumed that people were like machines. Give them a reward, and they'll work harder. Threaten them with punishment, and they'll obey. It seemed to work for a while, but then the cracks started to show. As jobs became more complex, requiring creativity and problem-solving rather than routine tasks, Motivation 2.0 began to fail. People weren't just unmotivated. They were disengaged. They felt empty, burned out, disconnected from the very work they spent their lives doing.
Why?
Because we are not robots. We crave something deeper. And that brings us to the breakthrough, the discovery of Motivation 3.0. A new system, a better system, a system built not on control, but on autonomy, mastery, and purpose. Chapter 2. The Candle Problem. Why Carrots and Sticks Fail. Let me tell you a story. A psychologist named Carl Dunker created a famous experiment called the Candle Problem. Participants were given a candle, a box of tacks, and some matches. Their task? Attach the candle to the wall without dripping wax on the table. It's a test of creative thinking. Now here's the twist. When researchers offered participants a cash reward for solving it faster, they actually performed worse. Yes, worse. Because external rewards narrow our focus. When we're chasing money, promotions, or prizes, our brain locks onto a single path, blind to innovation, blind to possibility. But when people were left alone, given no pressure, no financial incentive, they solved the problem faster. They explored. They experimented. They tapped into their natural creativity. This is the flaw in the carrot and stick system. For simple, repetitive tasks, rewards can work. But for deep, meaningful, creative work, they crush innovation. So, what's the alternative? It's time to meet the 3 pillars of Motivation 3.0. Chapter 3. Autonomy, the power of choice. Imagine waking up tomorrow with absolute control over how you work. No micromanagers. No rigid rules. No meaningless deadlines imposed from above. Just you, your skills, your ideas, and the freedom to pursue them. This is autonomy, and it is the foundation of true motivation. Pink's research shows that when people have control over what they do, task. When they do it, time. How they do it, technique. Who they do it with, team. They are happier, more productive, and more engaged. Consider Google's 20% time policy. Google allows employees to spend 20% of their time on any project they choose. This simple act of autonomy led to innovations like Gmail and Google Maps. Autonomy fuels passion. Autonomy unlocks creativity. Autonomy transforms work from an obligation into an opportunity. And autonomy, my friends, is what makes people unstoppable. Chapter 4. Mastery. The relentless pursuit of growth. Why do musicians practice for hours with no promise of a paycheck? Why do athletes train even when no one is watching? Why do artists paint, write, sculpt, and create even without an audience? Because of mastery, the drive to get better, to push past limits, to grow, evolve, and unlock our fullest potential. Pink reveals a truth that society often ignores. Humans are wired for challenge. We are happiest when we are getting better at something, when we are stretching, learning, and improving, even in small ways. And that's why Motivation 2.0 fails. When the only goal is external rewards, people stop caring about growth. But when the goal is personal mastery, people become unstoppable. Mastery is not a destination. It is a journey,
A path.
a way of life. And those who walk this path will always find fulfillment. Chapter 5. Purpose, the fire that fuels us. Finally, we arrive at the deepest driver of all, purpose. It is not enough to work for money. It is not enough to work for promotions. We need meaning. We need to know that our work matters, that we are contributing to something bigger than ourselves. This is why nonprofit workers, teachers, and social entrepreneurs often report higher satisfaction despite earning less money. Because their work has purpose. They are changing lives. They are making an impact. They wake up every morning knowing their efforts mean something. And that, my friends, is the ultimate source of motivation. Part 2. The 3 elements of true motivation. Chapter 6. The Autonomy Advantage. taking control of your work and life. If you have ever felt trapped, if you have ever felt that your work is dictated by others, if you have ever longed for freedom but didn't know how to claim it, you are not alone. The modern world is built to suppress autonomy. Bosses, systems, rules, they tell us what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. But the research is clear. People who have autonomy are more engaged, more productive, and more fulfilled. Autonomy is not about rebellion, it is about ownership. Pink reveals 4 crucial areas where autonomy changes the game. 1. Task autonomy, what you do. Think about Google's famous 20% time, where employees get to work on whatever excites them. This simple shift in autonomy led to the creation of Gmail, Google Maps, and even AdSense. When people choose their projects, innovation soars. 2. Time autonomy, when you work. A rigid 9 to 5 schedule may work for factory jobs, but in today's knowledge economy, it is a creativity killer. ROWE, results-only work environment, is a new approach where employees don't have schedules, they just have goals. What happened when companies embraced ROWE? Productivity skyrocketed. Job satisfaction increased. People worked with passion because they were in control of their time. 3. Technique autonomy, how you work. Micromanagement is the death of motivation. When workers are given the freedom to choose their own methods, they don't just work harder, they work smarter. 4. Team autonomy, who you work with. One of the biggest drivers of motivation? Choosing the people you collaborate with. When companies allow self-selected teams, productivity and creativity explode. Autonomy is not about chaos. Autonomy is about trusting people to take ownership. And when we do that, they will rise to the occasion. Chapter 7. Mastery, the relentless pursuit of growth. Now we turn to the second pillar of true motivation, mastery. Think about the times in your life when you were fully immersed in what you were doing, when hours passed like minutes, when you were so engaged, so focused, so in the zone, that the world faded away. This is what psychologists call flow. Flow is the state where challenge meets skill. Flow is where we lose ourselves in the joy of mastery. But here's the secret. Flow does not come from doing easy things. It comes from stretching ourselves. It comes from tackling challenges just beyond our current abilities. Pink reveals 3 critical truths about mastery. 1. Mastery is a mindset. Do you believe intelligence and talent are fixed, or do you believe they can be developed? Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck found that those with a growth mindset, who believe skills can be learned, achieve far more than those who think abilities are fixed. To master anything, you must believe you can improve. 2. Mastery is painful. True mastery is not comfortable. True mastery is a struggle. And that is why so few people achieve it. But those who push through the struggle unlock a level of excellence that most never reach. 3. Mastery is asymptotic. You will never fully master anything because there is always another level. The best musicians, athletes, and creators? They never stop learning. Mastery is not a finish line. Mastery is a lifelong journey. And those who embrace it will never stagnate, never fade, never lose their fire. Chapter 8. Purpose, the fire that fuels us. What is the highest level of motivation? What is the force that makes people work harder, dream bigger, and give more than they ever thought possible? Purpose. We do not want to just work. We want to matter. We want to contribute. We want to make a difference. We want to wake up and know that our efforts mean something. Pink's research shows that people who are connected to a higher purpose are more engaged, more resilient, and more creative. Look at companies like Patagonia, Tom's, and Tesla. They don't just sell products. They sell missions. Patagonia's purpose? Protecting the environment. Tom's purpose? Giving shoes to children in need. Tesla's purpose? Revolutionizing the future of energy. People don't just buy from these companies. They join their movement. The same applies to individuals. The most driven people are those with a mission bigger than themselves. The happiest people are those who serve a greater cause. So ask yourself, what is your purpose? Not just what do you do, but why do you do it? When you align your work with a deeper purpose, motivation is no longer a struggle. It is automatic. It is unstoppable. It is limitless. Part 3. The Toolkit, Putting Motivation 3.0 into Action. Chapter 9. Type 1 versus Type X. Understanding the two kinds of motivation. There are two types of people in this world, not divided by wealth, intelligence, or opportunity, but by something far deeper. Type X, the externally driven. Type I, the internally driven. Type X, the old model of motivation. Type X people are fueled by external rewards, money, status, promotions, praise. They work hard only when they are being watched or when a prize is dangled in front of them. They chase success, but it never satisfies. Sound familiar? This is the world we were raised in. But there is another way. Type I. The new model of motivation. Type 1 people are fueled by autonomy, mastery, and purpose. They work hard not because of a paycheck, but because they love what they do. They don't need micromanagement. They manage themselves. And here's the secret. Anyone can become Type I. It is not inborn. It is a choice, a mindset, a transformation. The question is, will you make the shift? Chapter 10. The 7 Steps to Awakening Type 1 Motivation. Daniel Pink gives us 7 powerful steps to transition from a Type X life to a Type 1 life. Let us take them one by one. 1. Give yourself autonomy over your work. Stop waiting for permission. Take control. If you are an employee, find ways to work with more freedom. If you are a leader, trust your people to make their own choices. 2. Master something every day. Growth is the fuel of motivation. Set goals, not for money, but for progress. Learn a new skill. Improve your craft. Push beyond your limits. 3. Connect your work to a higher purpose. Why do you do what you do? If your work has no meaning, find work that does. Or bring purpose into what you already do. 4. Replace if-then rewards with now-that recognition. Stop relying on carrots and sticks. Instead of saying, if you do this, I will reward you, say, now that you did this, I want to recognize you. Shift from bribery to genuine appreciation. 5. Create an environment that fosters intrinsic motivation. If you are a leader, build a culture of autonomy, mastery, and purpose. If you are an employee, surround yourself with motivated people. 6. Encourage experimentation and play. The most innovative companies allow employees to explore new ideas. Work should not be a grind. It should be a place of curiosity and creation. 7. Measure what matters. Stop obsessing over external rewards. Instead of measuring money, measure progress. Instead of tracking hours worked, track skills developed. Chapter 11. Applying Motivation 3.0 in Business, Education, and Life. This revolution is not just for you. It is for your business, your workplace, your schools, your families. In business, companies that embrace Motivation 3.0 outperform those stuck in the past. Companies like Google, encouraging autonomy through 20% time. Netflix, giving employees total control over their schedules. Zappos, building a culture where purpose drives performance. The result? Higher engagement, higher innovation, higher job satisfaction. In education, schools must shift from memorization to mastery. Instead of grading students on performance, let them pursue curiosity. Instead of making kids fear failure, teach them that growth comes from struggle. The best students are not those who seek the highest grades, but those who seek to master the subject. In life, parents, teachers, and leaders must model this new way of thinking. Give your children autonomy in their learning. Encourage mastery over instant success. Help them connect their actions to a deeper purpose. This is how we change the world. Part 4. The Final Charge, A New Way to Work, Lead, and Live. Chapter 12. Building a Motivation 3.0 Culture, From the Inside Out. A single person can change. A single company can evolve. A single school can transform. But for the revolution to last, we must build a culture around it. Culture is stronger than policy. Culture is stronger than incentives. Culture is what remains when no one is watching. To create a Motivation 3.0 culture, we must do three things. 1. Reward the right things. Stop rewarding compliance. Start rewarding creativity. Stop praising short-term wins. Start celebrating long-term mastery. Stop measuring success in dollars. Start measuring success in growth. 2. Encourage risk and experimentation. A Motivation 3.0 culture thrives on curiosity. Give people the space to try, fail, and try again. Whether in business, education, or life, create environments where taking a risk is encouraged, not punished. 3. Build purpose into every level. The greatest organizations infuse purpose into their mission. The best leaders connect daily work to a greater cause. The happiest people are not those chasing money, but those serving something bigger than themselves. Google gives its employees 20% time to pursue passion projects. Patagonia embeds environmental activism into its business model. Schools like Montessori and Reggio Emilia let students drive their own learning. Purpose is not a perk, it is a requirement. Where in your life can you create a culture of purpose? Chapter 13. Overcoming the resistance, the fight for a new model. Change is never easy. The world does not shift overnight. For every leader who embraces autonomy, mastery, and purpose, there will be 10 more who cling to the old ways. They will say, "We need control." They will say, "We need incentives." They will say, "This won't work in the real world." And yet, companies like Atlassian thrive without micromanagement. Schools like Finland's flourish without rigid testing. Visionaries like Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, and Jeff Bezos prove that intrinsic motivation is the fuel of greatness. The resistance will come. The skeptics will doubt. The system will fight back. But all great revolutions face opposition. And when the world tells you, "This is how we've always done it," you must have the courage to say, "That is exactly why we must change." Chapter 14. Your final challenge. The choice that defines your future. We have reached the final moment. This is not just a book. This is not just a theory. This is a movement. And now, my friends, the decision is yours. Will you go back to the old way of working, where control suffocates creativity? Will you return to the outdated system, where rewards replace true purpose? Will you let your life be ruled by external forces, or will you take the reins? You have the tools. You have the knowledge. You have the power to lead this revolution. And if you take this path, if you choose to live by Motivation 3.0, you will not just work harder, you will work better. You will not just succeed, you will thrive. You will not just build a career, you will build a legacy. The world is changing. The future belongs to those who embrace autonomy, mastery, and purpose. The only question left is, will you be one of them? The time is now. Lead, create, inspire, and together, we will redefine what it means to be truly driven. This is not the end. This is just the beginning. Thanks for listening to BookBuzz reviews and summaries.